what would be one thing that you would change in the public school system if you could wave your magic wand and change that? What's one thing?
So I feel almost hypocritical even saying that because of the fact that our children never entered the public school system. But for me, as a product of the public school system, I had a conversation. I went back to college to let my education to catch up with my experience when my youngest daughter started her dual enrollment classes. And I took an honors government class. And one of the questions that the professor asked was, how much has changed since 1954 Brown versus the Board of Education? And I looked around the room and I told them, in high school, I was usually the only African-American student in an honors classroom. I took honors English, honors government, and I went to a culturally diverse school. I was in a military community. It was very disappointing that 30-something years later, I'm in a culturally diverse community college in an honors class, and I'm still the only African-American in the room. That was said like in the last 2 minutes of class. The professor went and talked to the dean. They invited me to become an ambassador for the honors program. I did that for a semester just so that students of color could see. And I feel that has always been something that we have challenged our students. If you're the only African Americans doing something, be the first. You don't have to look around and see, is anybody else in here like me?
All right.
Run with it. And that has always been a big part of our homeschooling. So I think that changing the public school system for me would be to get rid of labels, to get rid of categories, to stop sorting people into neat little boxes and get to know the people, the children, and find out, I know that my model of homeschooling would not work in a large public, school setting. It would be difficult. But you got some teachers in there, I'm sure, that are passionate about finding out getting to know these students. They're not numbers, they're not tests, they are people.
Sure.